Hello friends, this is Terry with your blood moon lunar eclipse in Taurus on that Taurus Scorpio axis. Time to shift our reality now. Whoa. And I want to just take a moment to say thank you to all of my 1,000 subscribers to get me over that 1,000 subscriber mark. It's kind of a big deal in YouTube, I'm sure you've heard. And this is my last full moon astrology chart to announce a winner, and it is going to be SABIAN. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'm going to spell it because it's SJIVJE. And I didn't pull her name out of a bowl this time. This time I just wanted to pick somebody whose message really touched my heart. If you go back to the Black Moon Lilith video, SABIAN, I don't know if I'm saying your name right, SJIVGE, you won a full astrology chart because your message was so profound. And you're the reason I do these videos. And so I just loved it so much. And I think I'm actually going to keep doing these free full moon astrology chart readings. But now I'm going to mix it up a little instead of drawing a name randomly from a bowl, because my gosh, that's been so much work just writing all those little names on pieces of paper. And sometimes we have 100 of you who comment. That's how you enter. You like, subscribe, and comment to be in it, to win it. And now I want to shift gears and just pick a winner whose comment touched my heart, like SABIAN's did on that Black Moon Lilith video. So that's the new way. And I was thinking, the veil is thin. Let your ancestors help you win. We can really connect with our ancestors right now. I'm creating my Dios de los Muertos altar to my ancestors. I always pull all the images out of my great-grandmother who gave me this jade, my grandmother, my grandfather, all passed over on the other side. My mother even is passed on the other side, and my husband's grandpa and ancestors as well. We put a huge altar in our living room with all their images, and as you may have seen in that cartoon Coco, you say their names at this time of year and really try to connect with that ancestral wisdom. And maybe I'm going to do an ancestral meditation because I get really into connecting with spirit. The veil is thin. We can connect, we can channel divine messages. And I've been doing this lunar astrology chart reading sale, and oh my goodness, all of your ancestors are coming through too. I like to set up in my massage room, and I do charts a really different way. I love to take a notebook and just do free automatic writing to channel divine messages. But these lunar eclipse astrology chart readings are 30 to 40 pages because the messages are just coming through during this time when the veil is thinner. So you have until this blood moon lunar eclipse on October 28th to get your lunar eclipse chart reading. I have a sale link down below, just $88. And this is my last astrology sale of 2023. This is it, folks. And after that, a chart like this will cost you $230. So it's really a great opportunity. Be patient with me because I have been getting a lot of these readings, and it takes me about 2 to 3 weeks to get it back to you. So if you want it in time for the blood moon lunar eclipse, you know, order today. But even these eclipses, these astrological transits that we talk about all the time, it's not like they only affect you for one day. We just had that incredible solar eclipse in Libra, which is the first eclipse on that Aries Libra axis that we will be soaking in all of 2024. So that was just an introduction to the energy of that Aries Libra, Aries North Node, Libra, Dragon's Tail South Node energy that is coming in strong. Aries is the baby. But Aries is also the warrior, and look at that. Just as we begin this eclipse, we have war looming. And next year, we are going into the 9-star key astrology, into the 3, fast-growing tree, which is also known in Eastern Chinese astrology as the warrior. So I think we are headed into 2024 being a year of intense world wars, as we are already seeing that coming in. I always think that fall is when the energy of the next year starts to come in. And I studied this 9-star key astrology too. If you haven't already, I did an October astrology for the 9-star key, and I'm also offering free, absolutely 100% free 9-star key astrology readings. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say 9-star key, go down to the link below and get yourself a free 9-star key reading. It will blow your mind. I love the 9-star key as a way to align with the energy of the moment and the energy of 2024. Both East and West is saying war, and we are sadly seeing that. So I don't really want to talk about war the whole blood moon lunar eclipse, but it's there. It's the elephant in the room, isn't it? And I'm just wondering if you had an opportunity to see that solar eclipse in Libra, wherever you are. We definitely saw it. We were in the path of totality where I live in Oregon, Bend, Oregon. So my husband and I saw it. My husband got some really cool pictures, even though it was kind of cloudy. Pacific Northwest, it's always cloudy when we get something epic in the sky, I swear. But I had this crazy dream just a few nights before. Have you guys been having crazy? We're in that eclipse portal. We are really fully in the eclipse portal now. And the dreams are bringing these divine messages. And I had this dream that I was watching the solar eclipse with my family, and it got really dark. As once I was watching the 2017 total solar eclipse, which was intense, and it was crazy. It was the middle of the day, and it just got pure pitch black dark in the middle of the day. So in my dream, it got dark, and you could see stars, but then the light never returned. The sun didn't come back, and this was probably one of the scariest nightmares I've ever had, and it really gave me a new appreciation for just the fact that the sun is available to us every single day. When we wake up, we can look at these beautiful sunrises, and it brings us hope, and it's a rebirth every day when the sun rises again. And what if the sun just never returned? And we have all these solar storms looming too. If you've know anything about the solar storms that NASA is predicting will be coming in stronger and stronger through 2024, 2025, they're going to get really intense. It really gives you reverence for the power of our solar system and our sun. But just as I had this horrible nightmare that the sun never returned, that morning we had a massive 2-hour power outage in where I live in Bend, at least in the northern part of Bend. 18,000 people were out of power for 2 hours, and it turned out it was just a squirrel. It had nothing to do with the eclipse portal, but it really felt eerie to have a dream about darkness and then have your power go out on the same day. It's so synchronistic. And I just wonder, with so much looming around our power grid and the solar storms, there's a lot of talk that the solar storms could take out our power grid in the next 2 years. Could you live and could you do what you need to do? Could you do your work without electricity? Let me know down in the comments. I am just curious, because I think we are so addicted now to our internet, our phones, our TV, all of the electricity and the lights and our Wi-Fi. Like, could we live without it? What if it all went away tomorrow? Could you live without electricity? I've had times where the power went out and I had massage clients coming, and I can absolutely do a massage or give a Reiki session. I mean, I have to unplug the infrared biomat. Might not be working, but other than that, I could do my real job, my massage and Reiki. But I couldn't do astrology charts that day when the power was out for 2 hours. I was planning on reading astrology charts, and I thought, darn, I can't access my astrology software. Not going to be doing that today. So just a curious thing to think about. Could you live without power? I'd love to know. And this blood moon lunar eclipse on that Scorpio Taurus axis, it's happening in Taurus. This is our last lunar eclipse on that second house, the house of money, wealth that Taurus rules over, and the 8th house of sex, death, money, and taxes, all those inevitable things, that is Scorpio. Did you know that Taurus and Scorpio rule over the second house of money, wealth, possessions? Taurus, fertility, rebirth, and Scorpio rules over that death, transformation, taxes. Taxes can feel like death sometimes. They're so depressing. But anyways, and other people's money, inheritance, money you get from loans and borrowing and interest rates. So we have been on this eclipse portal in Taurus, Scorpio, dealing with our mind on our money and our money on our mind for so long. It's been just about 2 years we've been on this axis. And I will be glad it's over as a Scorpio. Let me know if you will be glad to be done with this death, transformation, rebirth cycle we've been riding. I like to think of it as a major roller coaster ride. And when it first started, it's like you were in line for the roller coaster and you're like, oh, this could be fun. Taurus, Scorpio, eclipse portal, let's bring it on. And then you got on the ride and it was scarier than you thought. Have you ever gone on a roller coaster ride? It was a little more intense, a little more whiplash, a lot of changes in our world, big crisis. And now with this Taurus lunar blood moon eclipse, it's just a partial eclipse. What could go wrong, right? Just a little partial lunar eclipse, blood moon, right before Halloween, Scorpio. Not too scary because the ride is finally over. And it's like, you know, when you get off the roller coaster ride, you're all pushed back and then they come and they take off the bars. And you're like, oh God, I can't wait to get off this Space Mountain dark ride I was just on. And you stand up and what happens? You get kind of vertigo. It's like, woo, that ride really took it out of me. And we may need a little bit of time to sort of recalibrate now that this Taurus Scorpio eclipse portal has completed. And especially if you're a Taurus or a Scorpio or you have any planets, this is the time to get out your chart and look at your chart for where is Taurus, where is Scorpio. Leave it in the comments. I'll let you know what it means. Find out what house is your Taurus and Scorpio, because that is where you are completing a cycle. There is a culmination, but that also comes with some vertigo and some recalibration in that area. For me, Scorpio, I have a stellium of planets in Scorpio, like 5 planets in Scorpio in my 4th house of home and family. And my Taurus is in my 10th house of career. And I have really been working at home since 2020 in a home office. And it has been a lot to juggle that work-life balance. When you work at home, it's like I should be doing work, but I also have to clean my house. And it's really hard. That I haven't loved that 4th, 10th house focus because I feel like I'm just stuck at home and working all the time. And I am ready to move on. And now as we enter into 2024, we'll be entering that Aries Libra axis. It's a completely different kind of energy. Aries is about ourself. I am becoming who you are meant to be. And Libra is about relationships and what you give and receive and balancing. How much are you giving and how much are you receiving and getting that balance just right. And Aries rules the 1st house, which is where we find our rising sign, our ascendant. And Libra rules not 6th house, the 7th house. Libra rules over the 7th house of our relationships, our partnerships, and how we get along and cooperate and mediate with others. Libra also rules over the legal system. Libra rules over justice and law and order and judges. So we're seeing war and lawsuits suits. That is the energy. I don't know. I think I'd rather just have work-life balance problems. But look to your chart to see, where does Aries show up? Where does Libra show up? Are you an Aries North Node? If you are about to be in for your own roller coaster ride. You're just getting on the roller coaster ride. If you happen to be an Aries North Node or a Libra North Node, South Node, or anyone who is an Aries or a Libra, you really will be on that roller coaster ride in a big way too. And it's going to take us all the way through 2024. And we have a lot of new energy coming on, but we also just got off a roller coaster ride. So this, like I said, is a time of recalibrating. And it reminds me so much of if you are a mother and you gave birth, and that birthing process is just so wild because you've been through so much just to birth this baby into being. And that's what that Scorpio Taurus was about. It was about birthing something new. And now Aries comes. The Aries eclipse portal comes. And Aries is when the nurse hands you that brand new baby. And you're a little bit disoriented. You're like, whoa, I just went through a whole marathon. It's like the Ironman triathlon when you give birth. Because you go through all this labor, which was so hard, and you're still recalibrating from what just happened, birthing this baby into being. But now the midwife hands you your brand new precious baby, and the work really just begins. This is really when we begin again. We're starting all over again in Aries. Aries is that first sign of the zodiac. So we are, Taurus, Scorpio is ending, letting something go, and this blood moon lunar eclipse is the culmination of that Taurus Scorpio roller coaster ride, but it's not over. You don't get to rest, no rest, because we are at a powerful crossroads now, and you're just being handed a brand new baby, a brand new potential, a brand new seed of opportunity here. And we are all being collectively asked to serve in a greater way, to stop playing small, to be bigger, to become all that we are meant to be in Aries. I think that's an army saying, but that's kind of perfect because Aries does rule over the military. And Aries is really asking you to dig deep and become what you came here to be. And we're all going to be experiencing some major lessons, no matter where your Aries Libra rules. That's what's coming next. And I believe that those who learn to adapt an attitude of service going forward, service to the sacred healing of our planet Earth, our world needs us to step up, become who we're supposed to be, and heal this broken world we're living in. And we need to really focus now on the Earth's precious resources. And these are the people who will be the new heroes of the new world that we're all birthing in, this new world. And we've all been given this new opportunity, this new baby, to create something brand new, to take this baby and raise it in the right way, and to really bring in that divine energy, that healing, higher vibrational energy to heal our planet and to heal our resources. And I believe that the light workers and the healers are the ones that are going to prosper in this new financial realm. We are really stepping into this new way of money. Do you feel that? I feel like money is shifting and changing, and there's a whole new paradigm around our financial system. But don't be afraid when the financial system crumbles, because a new way, we're birthing in a new way to handle our money in a better way with a higher vibration. But before we can really raise this baby, we got to finish up this Taurus, Scorpio eclipse portal. And we don't want to miss the messages, the divine messages coming in on this October 28th, Taurus, lunar eclipse. So I just had to look at 5 degrees of Taurus, where the moon, do you love my little moon candle? Are you seeing this? The moon, look at it, it's like an eclipse candle. The moon will be eclipsed at exactly 5 degrees of Taurus. And the Sabian symbol is a little spooky, but it is on Hallows Eve about, you know, Halloween is coming and the days are going to get darker in November. So the Sabian symbol is a widow standing at an open grave. Let's just light some Palo Santo and do a little bridge of light, shall we? My gosh. It gives me chills, really. What is that? That is the Sabian symbol. If you don't know about Sabian symbols were intuited by Elsie Wheeler, a powerful psychic. And she worked with Dane Rudyard. There's a beautiful book that I take these from, Dane Rudyard's Sabian Symbols. And Elsie Wheeler just gave an intuitive reading for each and every one of the Sabian symbols. And Taurus at 5 degrees, I'm just going to read it now, is a widow at an open grave. And when I first read that, I immediately thought, someone really important is about to die. Like Biden, he's a Scorpio. What if Biden suddenly died? I don't know. I shouldn't say that. Cancel. It's just kind of the, you know, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear a widow at an open grave? Because I remember when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died and the Sabian symbol was so incredible for 18 degrees of Virgo. You can look this up. You can go down the Google rabbit hole and look up 18 degrees of Virgo. Literally talked about the flags being at half staff because someone so important to the service of our country has died. And that was the Sabian symbol when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. I mean, chills, right? These Sabian symbols, I don't know how Elsie Wheeler did it, but she intuited the Sabian symbols, and she has an intuitive Sabian symbol for this lunar eclipse that says a widow at an open grave. And the keynote is the impermanence of all material and social bonds. All natural compounds will die and decay. That's just nature, says the Buddha. And the most beautiful, enjoyed substance loses its potential energy through continuous actualization. And the principle of integration and form will be withdrawn, leaving only a void, the open grave, that ends all attachments. The void brings a great challenge. What's next? One must begin anew, and if possible at a higher vibration. This is exactly what we were just talking about. This is weird. More inclusive and universal and less egocentric and selfish level. This 5th stage deals with root elements and basic actions, and responses may seem negative, yet this will open the door to self-renewal. What we're going through might seem like a negative time, but it's opening the door to renewal. Our world is being renewed. Somehow, on this dark night of the soul, have you ever had a dark night of the soul, but then you find renewal? That's where we are. Beyond the personal attachment rises the possibility of participating in a larger sphere of existence. And this possibility rarely manifests itself except as one is ready to discard the past completely. And Scorpio, the dragon's tail of this blood moon eclipse, is all about letting go. Let that shit go. And there is a darkness on our planet right now, and there is some scary predictions that could be made about this winter in the northern hemisphere. I'm hearing some really scary stuff out there from other astrologers, and some of our structures in our world are falling apart for sure. But I'm not going there. I'm not going to make scary predictions. I'm not going to be the thriller, scary movie on this Halloween. I'm going to tell you that you you get to control your own timeline as we move into this Aries North Node. If you haven't already watched my whole reading about the Aries North Node, South Node, Dragon's Tail in Libra, go back. I'll link it down below. You'll want to go back and read what the energy is coming in after we let go. It's got some positives because we are creating our next new world. We are creating the paradigm. And some of us are really using this time to light a candle and call in the light, right? Let's call in the light. And some of us are really taking the time to heal ourselves deeply, which can only ultimately heal the planet. When each of us heals ourselves, we heal the planet. And I am teaching a Reiki for Abundance class this November on 11/11, the 11/11 portal. Love it. And I'm just hoping to attune as many people as I can possibly fit into this HANAI healing space. You guys know HANAI if you're local to Bend. I'll show pictures of HANAI. It is this most beautiful community healing space. And I'm going to be in the eagle room because I am a Scorpio. You know, Scorpio is one of the Scorpio archetypes is the eagle. So I'm going to be in this beautiful eagle circle room, attuning just as many people as I can to the powerful energy of Reiki and just opening people's heart and bringing that divine healing energy into your body so that everybody can heal themselves right now. Because I just hope to attune as many people as I can to Reiki right now. That is the divine message I'm hearing from Spirit. Is like, you need to get out there and bust your butt. You need to quit playing small. I usually do these smaller classes at my home, which I just love, like 5 to 7 students. And it's very cozy. And I have this little home spa with everything all set up. And it's beautiful. But Spirit told me this time, you need to stop playing small and you need to attune 40 people. So I've opened 40 student spaces for this class, which would be a record breaker for me. I think the largest class I've ever taught was 33 students. And I just want to bring more healing, more light workers into this world because our world needs the healers and the light workers. And it's time for people to step up and become healers and light workers on our planet. And we need to raise that healing, higher vibrational energy, just one Reiki attunement at a time. So if you sign up for this class, you will receive this powerful Reiki attunement, which just brings you to a higher vibration. Everybody who signs up gets a Reiki for Abundance book so you can figure out why you just got attuned and what it means. And let's choose the timeline where more people are attuning to a higher vibrational energy on our planet that's bringing a frequency of love, that more people are opening their heart chakras, that more people are becoming healers and beginning to prosper as healers and light workers. And it just ripples out. The more healers we have, the more they're doing healing work on other people. We are collectively calling in this healing light energy on our planet. And I'm not ignoring or denying the fact that the dark winter is coming and that there may just be a wolf at the door. Dun, dun, dun. I think a Little Red Riding Hood. Do you love Little Red Riding Hood? And we've got that black moon Lilith and that Little Red Riding Hood vibes. But trust me, as an intuitive Scorpio with a Pisces moon, I know that this winter is going to be a dark time. And I know that there's a wolf knocking on the door. I am not denying it. And you should not deny it either. But I don't need to focus on that because focusing on the wolf at the door isn't going to solve my problems. And rather than focus on the evil darkness in our world, I'd rather just light a candle, maybe burn some Palo Santo, right? And give Reiki attunements to open as many heart chakras as I possibly can. And I don't know what's coming next, but I know that people having their heart chakras opened and an infusion of higher vibrational Reiki is going to be better than me sitting there watching the news freaking out. And when I think of that dark void that was talked about in the Sabian symbol, it immediately made me think of Black Moon Lilith, who is exalted in Virgo. And if you watched my Black Moon Lilith, I'll put the Black Moon Lilith video link in the description, because it's all about getting into this dark black moon void. I got myself a little black moonstone to celebrate, because I am a Black Moon Lilith Virgo myself. So this is a Black Moon Lilith Virgo return for me. And I am feeling that void. I am feeling that darkness. And I want to light a candle and get my little moonstone out to reflect that light. This is such a beautiful crystal, and I bet you can't really see, but it has all these beautiful shimmering silver reflections and rainbows in it. And the black moonstone really helps you embrace your shadow, embrace your darkness. And I've been using this in my distance Reiki healings. When I've been doing distance, when you get a lunar eclipse astrology chart, I also send distance Reiki. So for those of you who had your chart read, I was using the black moonstone as I was sending the distance Reiki, because I think we all need the energy of this powerful black moonstone. And we have Black Moon Lilith in Virgo now through July. And I just have feeling all the feels about it as we're soaking in it, and just more insights are coming to me. And this is a time when you can get insight about things that were maybe shadowed or dark or eclipsed. And Black Moon Lilith exalted is really about being misunderstood. And just imagine for a moment that you are Black Moon Lilith and you are born into this beautiful Garden of Eden, a perfect paradise. And then you meet this guy, really the only guy around, who wants to procreate with you. And for whatever reason, you're just not that into him. So you refuse his advances. This is what's like the original Me Too moment. And maybe you'd just rather go for a hike or pick some apples out in nature, or even talk to that snake. He seems interesting. But because you resisted this one man in the garden, when you resisted his advances, now suddenly you were thrown out of this garden paradise that was your home. But even worse yet, you are vilified. And you're considered a demon. You're considered evil. And maybe this root story is why women for millennia have had a hard time coming forward with their horrible encounters with men, because it's really about being misunderstood. Misunderstood for your actions, misunderstood for those times when people who didn't even know you project all kinds of negative crap onto you. And I have definitely experienced these moments. Let me know if you have too. And Venus is joining Black Moon Lilith now in a conjunction to soften the blow of being misunderstood. And hopefully Venus, the goddess of love, divine feminine energy, and she has risen as morning star. Look to the east before dawn and you will see Venus shining in all of her glory, if it's not cloudy. And Venus is going to turn on Lilith's love light to let it shine. And that is why I'm really excited to do Reiki attunements right now. When you get a Reiki level 1 attunement, it opens your heart chakra. It turns on your love light. And now Lilith can have her love light. It's like Lilith is getting an attunement from Venus so she can feel better. Along with Juno, the other goddess planet that rules over Hera, the goddess of relationships. And there's an opportunity for a lot of healing now on our feminine, deep feminine wounds. And yes, men can have those deep feminine wounds too. So this is also a time for men to heal their divine feminine energy. We have divine feminine energy. We have divine masculine energy. We have both. We are a twin flame within ourselves. And each and every one of us has masculine and feminine energy. So even men can benefit from this healing of their own feminine energy. And when you see a man who has healed his divine feminine, I mean, there's nothing sexier in the world. And so this is really, this lunar eclipse with this Venus, Black Moon, Lilith conjunction is really going to be bringing our heart wounds up to the surface. And then on top of that, we have a Venus, quincunx Chiron, this eclipse. And I think of Oprah Winfrey. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Turning your wounds into wisdom, right? We always learn from our pain and our wound. Pain is such a great teacher. If you can tap in to your pain, if you can listen to your body, it has a divine message for you. So turn your wounds into wisdom with this Venus quincunx Chiron also happening during this. And then we have Mars in Scorpio opposite Jupiter in Taurus. And Mars is the planet that once ruled over Scorpio before Pluto. And Mars is that fiery planet that rules over aggression and war. In Scorpio, the sign of power and revenge. And this is a volatile energy to be aware of. I like to say, do not engage with crazy. It is in direct opposition with Jupiter in Taurus, our money. And war is bad for our economy. There's just no way around it. All of this war spending financed entirely by our American debt. That's not really good spending. Any financial accountant will tell you. And this is going to mean an even higher national debt to gross domestic product and rising interest rates in the housing market and essentially just a broken financial system to come, which really relates to Pluto's return in America in the second house of wealth. If you've ever looked at America's astrology chart, we have Pluto in the second house, which can bring debt, but it can also bring transformation. Pluto, the great transformer. Pluto, the great transformer, is transforming our financial system in this return in the second house. And that may need to be a separate transit for another day. I'm getting long here. But Uranus in Taurus retrograde is still looming close by Jupiter as well, bringing those unexpected earth events. I know Afghanistan's been having a ton of earthquakes and unexpected financial events because Jupiter rules over our money. And the closer it gets every day to Jupiter, who is retrograding back to meet Uranus in Taurus, they don't have an exact conjunction until mid-April 2024, right in time for tax season. Oh boy. But we're already feeling the volatile financial system in America and things that need to be transformed. And we will continue to see a transformation of our American financial system. Light a candle. Gonna need all the prayers for the American financial system, because America's financial system reminds me now, like America is that drunk at the bar who's just offering to buy drinks for everyone, even though that drunk at the bar is totally in debt and doesn't have any money. He's in debt past his eyeballs. And the bartender's about to tell him, look, buddy, your money's no good here. You're broke. Get out. That's what our financial system feels like right now in this Pluto return that America is feeling. And there is a lot to fear and there is a lot to worry about. I'm not going to lie about it. But again, I'll just say, light that candle and keep focusing on the light and less focus on the news and creating the reality, the timeline, the paradigm that you want to be in. And let's shift into that new reality collectively, coming from our open heart chakras, our Reiki attunement, our higher vibrational energy. We can create a new paradigm, a new reality. We can shift our reality even when things seem dark as they are and the wolf is knocking at the door, we can just go in the back room, light a candle, and create a new reality. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to do another separate recording of the lunar eclipse for all 12 signs. And have a beautiful lunar eclipse. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. It's so fun to get to know all of you and connect with what is going on for you. So leave the information of your Taurus, Scorpio houses in the comments, and I will give you a little mini intuitive reading of what Spirit wants you to know on this eclipse portal. Do, 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 do.